They told me I had a strong heart. Every checkup, every scan, every smile from a white coat seemed to say, "You're doing fine." I took pride in that. Even as I crossed into my late 60s, I felt a quiet superiority. I wasn't like those other men who couldn't climb stairs, who sat down every 5 minutes, who grunted with every motion. I was still moving, still independent, still sharp. But what no one told me was this: your heart can stay silent until the very end. It doesn't cry out. It whispers. And that whispering began for me in ways I didn't recognize until it was nearly too late. This isn't a lecture. It's a confession, because I missed the warnings. And I don't want you to do the same. If you're over 60, this message might be more important than any pill in your cabinet. Here are the signs I wish someone had told me about. Not the ones you read on posters. The real ones. The quiet killers. Small blue diamond sign number 1. Unusual fatigue. The kind that feels like sand in your blood. This wasn't tired from a long day fatigue. This was a weight in my bones. I would sleep 8, 9, even 10 hours and still wake up foggy like I hadn't rested at all. I remember brushing my teeth one morning, then sitting down because it exhausted me. Not because I was old, because something deeper was wrong. It crept into my afternoons, too. I used to walk the dog in the park at 3 p.m. It became 5 p.m., then maybe tomorrow. I told my wife I was just slowing down. But my body was doing more than that. It was struggling to circulate oxygen. My doctor later said, "Your heart's output was declining. Less blood meant less oxygen, and your body conserved energy by making you tired." It made sense. I wasn't lazy. I wasn't just aging. I was fighting an invisible battle. If you feel like gravity has doubled, and even small tasks wipe you out, pay attention. Especially if it happens out of nowhere. Especially if it gets worse over weeks. It's your body asking for help before it stops asking at all. Small blue diamond sign number 2. Jaw or neck tightness. A dull, nagging weight you dismiss. We all expect heart pain to be in the chest. But in older adults, especially men, the heart plays tricks. For me, it started with what felt like jaw soreness. I thought I was grinding my teeth. I changed pillows, bought a night guard, saw a dentist. The dentist found nothing. Then came the neck tension, a strange tightness under my left ear running down into my shoulder. I thought it was posture, or sleeping wrong, or too much time looking at my phone. It wasn't. It was angina, referred pain. My cardiologist explained. Heart tissue shares nerve pathways with other areas. That's why chest issues can show up as jaw, neck, even shoulder discomfort. I never had chest pain, but my heart was still in distress. The body was trying to tell me. I just wasn't fluent in the language. So if you notice new, unexplained tension in your jaw, neck, or upper back, don't assume it's muscular. It could be cardiac. Small blue diamond sign number 3. Shortness of breath, but only during nothing moments. I never ran marathons, but I always liked walking the aisles of the hardware store. It made me feel useful. Then one Saturday, halfway to the light bulb aisle, I stopped. My breath felt short. My chest wasn't in pain, but my lungs felt incomplete, like they weren't expanding fully. I took a deep breath, waited, continued. It happened again in the grocery store, again while folding laundry, again while talking to my neighbor at the gate. I began to think it was anxiety, or allergies, or maybe the heat. But I wasn't nervous. I wasn't allergic, and it wasn't hot. My heart wasn't giving enough power to my lungs, and my lungs were trying to pick up the slack. Cardiologists call this exertional dyspnea, a fancy way of saying your heart is struggling with simple exertion. If you find yourself sighing more, pausing mid-sentence to breathe, or needing to catch your breath during ordinary routines, it's not just aging. It might be your heart failing in small doses. Mine was. Warning coming in part 2. There are still 4 signs left, including the one that hit me the hardest. It happened in public, at my granddaughter's school recital. No pain, No drama. Just a single moment that changed my life forever. In part 2, I'll also share the exact blood marker that predicted my condition before the ECG did. The one mistake I made that almost delayed my diagnosis by 6 months. And why doctors sometimes miss these signs, not from ignorance, but from how heart disease hides in people over 60. So stay tuned, because your second chance might begin with a single sentence in part 2. And as always, this isn't just my story. It's backed by medical studies and real cases in cardiology. If you're over 60, don't just hope you're healthy. Learn the signs, hear the whispers, and respond before it's too late. But today, I want to tell you the rest. The final 4. The ones that brought me closest to the edge. These aren't just signs. They're lessons carved into me by experience. Warnings I only understood when I had no choice but to listen. And one of them, the one that changed my life, happened in front of my family. In front of my granddaughter. During a moment that was supposed to be full of joy. Small blue diamond sign number 4. Cold sweats without reason. Like a fear your body feels first. It was a Tuesday afternoon. Warm, not hot. I wasn't exercising. I was just sitting at the dining table reading the paper. Suddenly, I felt a film of sweat form on the back of my neck. Then my forehead. Then my chest. I wasn't hot. I wasn't anxious. But my body felt like it had just been frightened. No racing heart. Just cold, clammy sweat. I stood up slowly. My shirt clung to me. My hands were damp. I drank water. Washed my face. It passed, and I forgot about it. Until it happened again, days later. This time in the middle of the night. I woke up drenched. Not from a dream. Not from heat. Just wet. My heart was steady, but something felt off. Like I just barely dodged something invisible. Later, my cardiologist said, cold sweat is often the body's reaction to stress hormones during reduced blood flow. It's one of the most overlooked signs of cardiac distress. Cold sweat without emotional stress is your nervous system responding to a hidden threat. And often, that threat is cardiac. Small blue diamond sign number 5. Indigestion that isn't from food. This one almost fooled me entirely. It started with a strange pressure in my upper abdomen. Not pain, just discomfort. A fullness, like I'd eaten too much, even when I hadn't. Then came the burping. Frequent, random, and an odd sense of tightness behind my sternum. I thought it was gas. Maybe acid reflux. I started chewing antacids. Cut back on spicy foods. Ate earlier. Slept propped up. But the discomfort came back, always when I climbed stairs, or walked uphill, or got up too fast. It wasn't food. It was my heart pressing against my esophagus. The cardiologist explained, in older adults, angina can feel like gastrointestinal upset, especially in people with diabetes or high blood pressure. This is what they call atypical angina. It mimics heartburn. But it's the kind of heartburn that doesn't come from what's on your plate. It comes from what's happening behind your ribs. If you feel indigestion without eating, especially during movement, don't ignore it. It could be your body. Try to translate heart pain into something familiar. And in that translation lives the danger. Small blue diamond sign number 6. Irregular pulse. Not fast, just off. One evening, I was lying in bed, hand on my chest. I often do that before I sleep. Just a quiet moment with myself. That's when I noticed it. Thump, 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 pause. Thump, thump. A skip. Then 2 quick beats. Then regular again. It happened 3 nights in a row. No chest pain. No panic. But something felt wrong. My pulse had always been slow and steady. Now it danced unpredictably. I visited my doctor, who hooked me up to a portable monitor. The results? Ventricular ectopic beats. Minor, but real. And for someone with elevated blood pressure and family history of heart disease, it was enough. We did more tests. A stress echo. A nuclear scan. That's when we found it. A narrowing in one of the coronary arteries. Not enough for emergency surgery, but enough to change the course of my life. If your pulse feels weird, Not necessarily fast or slow, just different. Don't dismiss it. It might be your heart struggling to keep rhythm, and that rhythm is your lifeline. Small blue diamond sign number 7. Sudden weakness or dizziness at the worst moment possible. This is the one I'll never forget. My granddaughter had a recital. She was singing in the front row, looking at me from the stage like I was her whole world. I was sitting in the third row, my wife beside me, camera in my hand, smiling. Then, I blinked, and the room spun, not violently, just slightly, like the world tilted 10 degrees. My arms felt weak. My grip loosened on the camera. Sweat gathered on my lip. And for the first time in my life, I thought, this could be it. I didn't fall. I didn't collapse. But my wife saw my face. The color had drained. She whispered, "Are you okay?" I nodded, but I wasn't. The next day, we went straight to the ER. They found a blockage, the same one hinted at by all the signs before. I had a stent placed a week later, and I was lucky, because if I had waited for a real heart attack, it might have been my last recital. I want to tell you this because most people don't know. An EKG won't always catch it. Mine didn't. What did? A high-sensitivity troponin test and a calcium score CT scan. Troponin shows cardiac strain even before major damage. Calcium score shows plaque buildup in the arteries. I had both. If your EKG is clean, but the signs are there, ask for these. Push for them. Fight for your clarity. Because your life is worth more than a quick checkup. I'm still here. Not because I was smart, but because eventually I listened to the fatigue, to the weird jaw aches, to the breathlessness, to the skip beats, to the sweating, to the dizziness. And when I did, I got help. Now I walk slower but steadier. I eat lighter but happier. I love deeper because I'm here, and I might not have been. So please, don't wait for pain. Don't wait for drama. Don't wait for collapse. Your heart won't always shout. Sometimes it just whispers. Listen closely.